So the title is We Win, They Lose, which strikes me as zero sum. If you look at the world, most countries count China as among its top few trading partners. So assuming that, the broad kind of agreement in the GOP and frankly at a bipartisan level, even among Democrats, that China is the major sort of threat to American leadership around the world. If you agree on that, and then you take the title of your book, that, America wins, China loses should be the normative approach. But if China loses, the world loses, no?
So what is the goal for the current competition with China? And this has been something of a hobby of mine over the past couple of years to ask senior US officials, what are we trying to achieve? Competition is not a strategy. And I haven't really gotten a clear answer. Some have said, well, it's to avoid war. I think that's not right. Some said, well, we're just going to have to do this forever. I think that's not quite right. Carthage and Rome still aren't competing. This is going to come to an end one way or another. And so we think the answer is we win, they lose, which essentially we define as getting to a place where China no longer has the ability or the will to threaten America's vital interests. So it doesn't mean China as a country has to lose. It just means that the current aggressive strategy of Xi Jinping has to lose. That we need to get to a place where China no longer has the will or the ability to threaten U.S. vital interests. So I could keep going, but maybe I'll stop
Yeah.
there.
If you speak to the vast majority of countries in Asia, in Africa, they all have problems with China, for sure. But they don't necessarily want to see China lose, even in the way that you're describing. They need a vibrant China. They need a growing China, to help their own economies.
Yeah, so a couple things I'd say to that. One, I think the country that's done the most to constrain China so far is China, and Xi Jinping's economic policies over the past several years and his aggressive foreign policy have undercut China's successful growth model. So the biggest cause of China's recent decline has been Xi Jinping. But then, second, what we advocate for in the book for the United States, but also for allies and partners and countries in the global South, is a de-risking. And so it's not to say that you need to cut off trade with China altogether, but in sensitive national security areas, and even for countries in the global South, it's not in their interest to have China control digital infrastructure of the 21st century, not in their interest to allow China to put in place infrastructure that could be used for military or intelligence purposes. But that if they want to continue to export soybeans to China, if they want to buy cheap made in China t-shirts, that would be fine. And so I think this kind of selective de-risking approach, both for the United States and others, is a way for them to maintain economic engagement with China, but also to protect themselves from the threats that China poses.